Hello, I am having technical difficulties, of course. Is Mercury retrograde yet? I think it must be soon. I know it's soon because went to went to use my regular laptop and wouldn't turn on and wouldn't work. Then I went to use my daughter's old laptop, which I happen to have as a backup, and the keyboard doesn't work on this, but the battery doesn't work either, so it has to be plugged in. Wouldn't work, and it's because a fuse is out downstairs. So I have to go to the basement and change a fuse. So we're going to try doing this on my phone. I know it's a little wiggly, and I'll try not to wiggle it too much. But yeah, here I am. Hello. Hi. Hi, Megan. I don't know if you're still here because I think I'm the only one here in chat. So, which is what happens when the stream started 8 minutes ago, and yeah, I have no power. This is a beautiful, like, gorgeous house that I live in, but it's an old house, so once in a while I have to go down to the basement and switch a breaker, so it happens. Yeah. Hey, Megan, you're back. Good to see you. So, yeah, hope all is well, and of course. Okay, so let's do some tarot. Hello, Chanel. Great to see you. I am going to look at when, because it's going to happen eventually, when a Speaker of the House in America is going to be announced, and who we're looking at that being. Yeah, they can't go 2 more years without a we can go 2 more years, or they can't go 2 more years without a speaker. So just to clarify, whenever I talk about American politics, I am Canadian, and I don't have a dog in the fight of American politics, although, you know, what happens in the US does affect Canada. I tend to lean left, but I welcome anyone who leans differently as long as we're not a dick to each other. So yeah, that's my stance. Looking at it from an outsider, I think it is a little bit hilarious that there's been, what, 13 votes now for speaker. And yeah, it's just a small number of people. Kevin McCarthy has wanted to be Speaker of the House for a long time. I feel like since he was a little boy. So we're going to, I know that the camera's shaking a bit, and I'm sorry about that. It's on my ring light, which I can't use because the fuse blew. So I'll try not to wiggle the table too much because that wiggles the camera. Yes, you can agree to disagree. I also add to that, you can agree to disagree, just don't be a dick about it. I think that we can learn a lot from talking to people who have different points of views. And I think that what matters to me is values. Someone might have different opinions, but when it comes to values of, like, you know, wanting people to do well in life and wanting others to, you know, have, you know, giving a crap about your fellow human being, I think is what matters to me. I don't think it's a matter of agree to disagree when it comes to things like the worth of a person, that one person should have different rights than another. I will never agree to that stuff. I think that all adults should be able to vote. I think that all humans should have, you know, an equal chance. So anyway, that's where we get on that. Okay, so yeah, Speaker of the House. Deck I'm using today is the Gilded Tarot by Sierra Marchetti. Okay. And I am just going to do a 4-card spread. So we have situation, body, mind, and spirit. Oh my God. Yep. Okay. Here we go. King of Swords. This is the first card. And I think that this, okay, I'll go through the cards first. So we got King of Swords for the situation. Body, Judgment. Mind, 8 of Wands reversed. And Spirit, the Hermit reversed. So King of Wands, first card, this obviously represents the position of the speaker. So I do think that we are going to see a speaker elected soon. I think next week, and and I can kind of see what's going to happen here. We've got, I do actually think that Kevin McCarthy is going to succeed as being Speaker of the House. I think that's going to happen. It's a matter of kind of when that happens. So, judgment. I do think that we are looking at a few more votes, but I think that what is going to happen, and especially looking at the Hermit reverse, because Hermit reversed, I think, is like things happening in secret or advice happening in secret. So I think there's going to be some secret deals like, okay, we need your vote. This needs to happen. Like judgment here, this is better judgment. This is about acting according to what is best for the greater good. The greater good. I had to. So this is what's happening with the greater good and what is going to be best for their country. They can't go on with this forever. I think they agree that it looks embarrassing. And then this being about like secret backroom deals. So we've got the Eight of Wands reversed. This is just all about chaos. And I think that we can agree, especially looking at this, and excuse me, Merlin has got into the garbage. One moment, please. Merlin, that's not for doggies. Out of there. Out of there, silly boy. All right, I'm back. Okay. I think that we can agree, as I said, it wants chaos. This is like things coming at you from all directions. This is action that should be taking place, but it's kind of like politely, it's like screwing the pooching. So I think that Kevin McCarthy is going to make some backroom deals like, look, we need your vote. What is it going to take for me to get this vote? And agreeing to do some things that he doesn't want to do to get the vote. There's going to be a lot of pressure for those who are still holding back, because I think he's only like 2 votes shy, and I believe it's Boebert and Gates. But I think there's going to be a lot of pressure from the other side to get things done, because there are going to be votes coming up soon that matter for the American government to run. And I believe that there's going to be, this isn't like, I heard on the news that there's going to be like a budget defense bill that needs to be voted on. And there's a few other things that need to get done. And you can't, so basically like Gates and Boebert are kind of holding the American government and the American people hostage in a way. But yeah, there's going to be some concessions made that, if you give me your vote, I will do this for you. And it's not going to be something that McCarthy wants to do. So, which may lead to having to go back on his word or whatever. But yeah, so yeah, we're looking at pressure from outside forces that are going towards the greater good. And I think even some moderate Democrats may be willing to even switch the vote. I mean, I think that Jeffries would be an incredible speaker. But yeah, if it's just to get things going and stop this madness, then yeah, there's going to be people who are kind of like, well, all right, if you do this for me. And I could even see some Democrats talking to McCarthy and being like, if you do this, then I will switch my vote. So yeah, there are people who don't want to vote for him, but can be convinced to with backroom deals. So that is my reading on the Speaker of the House. I think by this time next week, like by next weekend, within the next week, they're going to have an answer in place. I guess it's kind of an extra week of Christmas vacation. Okay, so that is my, oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't go in and monetize this stream so that other people can actually like contribute if they want to super chat for a reading. So pardon me, just one moment. Hopefully this still runs when it's, I think I can go in through the studio app. I hope it doesn't make me go to the website, because that means taking out the webcam or taking out the laptop, and that means lives. Can I do this while live? No, it will not do current lives. Shoot. Huh. Okay, so I can't do it that way. Can I do? Nope, I can't do that. I'm so sorry, guys. Nope. Okay, I really should give my my mods my password so they can go in and do stuff. Can't do it from the dashboard. Love to be able to do this from the dashboard. Yeah, Tarot Tuesday for January 3rd. I cannot come in and do it from the app. Shoot. Okay. Megan, since you are the sole mod today, if you could please the link to my, oh crap. Mother of pearl. All right, am I still here? Oh, okay. So Amy can send it does. Okay. Yes. All right. That's what I was looking for. Cool. Amy, thank you so much for your super sticker. That is awesome. And I think that's what happened last time of why people had to like join if they wanted a reading instead of give a super chat or super sticker. So we're good to go. So Amy, you are first. What would you like for your question? If I can just remind you, good questions are questions that are rather positive in nature, where you have a say over where you have like input into the outcome. Questions that I try to avoid for live streams are questions that are like to do with like health or you know, is my husband cheating? Those questions are better left for private readings. But a good question is something like, you know, should I go back to school next week or next year, or should I take this job, or should I move? Those are really good questions for the chat. And part of that is because of your own privacy. Part of that is because of monetization. That there are issues that I can't talk about on YouTube, and part of that is also like ethics of me wanting to spend, you know, good time with you. If I'm just like, yeah, your husband's cheating on you, see ya, that's not very ethical of me. So I really do want to, you know, spend time and come up with an action plan and make sure that you're okay before just like giving you an answer and leaving you. And also, I don't want to trigger people talking about sensitive issues. So reminder, because it's been a while since I've done a lot of chats. Oh, and thank you so much, Sherelle. So you are second if you want to think of a question. Actually, yeah, you're also a member now, and members get free readings. So either way, thank you so much. And I've got my elbows on the desk, so it's shaking. Okay, yep, we can do a general reading if that's what you'd like, Amy. Can look at how things are going to go for the next week and how things are going to go for, you know, the year. So again, I'm going to do situation, body, mind, spirit. Okay, so I have all minors, which is good because the big majors, those are like massive shifts in someone's life. And I have 3 out of 4 reversed. Reversed doesn't necessarily mean bad, but it can mean things are a bit chaotic. So I've got the 4 of Cups reversed as situation, 5 of Cups reversed as body, 2 of Wands reversed as mind, and sorry, 2 of Wands upright as mind, and Knight of Wands reversed as spirit. All right, so when I see the 4 of Cups reversed, this often to me is about like regret and looking at how others are in life as opposed to where you are. And if I'm coupling this with the 5 of Cups reversed, the 5 of Cups is often about like it's a return to joy. So And then coupling that again with the Two of Wands is about a fork in the road. So, going one way or the other. Now, I like this because it kind of looks at, okay, you've made some decisions in the past that you were not terribly happy with, but you have the power to choose where you go next. And I think that it's not just a matter of, do I go left or do I go right? I think that there's a bigger decision that you're looking at making in life. And some of it is going to be about your own attitude towards things and how you look at life, or it can also be like looking towards making like bigger decisions about where you're going physically. But yeah, I think that you're going to be taking actions to improve your life, because it's kind of like, okay, this is where I am now. How am I going to handle this? What am I going to do to make things better? How am I going to move the needle in my life? And I think that if you were to take like a small action every day to move the needle forward, that you would over the course of a year see a profound difference in your life. So I like that. I like this reading a lot. Now, the Knight of Wands reversed, I'm not sure if this is related to you or to another person. So when I see the Knight of Wands reversed, I often see this as a younger man with a temper, or someone in your life that often can be men, can be a woman with more masculine traits. But this very much could be if there's someone in your life who has a temper, and who is impulsive and flies off the handle at a moment's notice, of you just saying like, nope, this is not something that I want in my life, and creating boundaries with that person, perhaps even like separating yourself from that person, or at least just letting them know that behavior is completely unacceptable, and it's not okay to lose it. We're allowed to have human emotions, but what you do with those emotions is important. And flying off the handle and being impulsive is not an appropriate way to deal with anger. So, and that could also be yourself, of choosing to deal with things more stoically than more to deal with anger. But I think this is a person that it's probably not a healthy person for you to be associating with a lot. But yeah, I think that you have a lot of power to make some really good decisions in your life, and that open road with the Two of Wands, you can stay where you are, you can continue down the path that you've been for, or you can make a drastic difference, or you can even make like tiny little course corrections every day. And I think that as long as you're moving the needle every day, that you're going to come up with some really powerful effects. So that is the reading that I have for you today, Amy. Thank you so much. And our next reading, well, let me check this first. Yeah, it is Cheryl. I almost wanted to call you Chanel for a minute, but no, Cheryl. I'm sorry. So Cheryl, do you have a question? Or I can just do a general reading. You're most welcome. I actually would like, if you could like even just write in the calendar, a year from now, so in the year 2024, I'd like to revisit this. So, and I know that you mentioned a comment, you don't do New Year's resolutions either, and I think that's a good choice. I think they're designed to fail, but I think that you can really make some incredible progress in the next year. So yeah, remind me about this in 2024, and we'll come back to this and see where your life is and how it's different. And yes, Megan has provided the link to my Schedulista. You can also go to my website, which is just www.carolineironwell.com. I just renewed my domain name like this weekend. So if that doesn't work, just take out the www and let me know, and I'll make sure that it's forwarding. Oh, and yes, for February, I will also have a 2-for-1 sale. So if you buy if you book a reading in February, you'll get a gift certificate to use either at a later time, or you can gift it to someone else. Okay, great question, Cheryl. And we actually do have a few cards in the deck that deal with children, so it'll be interesting to see if they come up. So again, I'm going to do a 4-card spread of body, mind, and spirit. Okay, I hope you like this. I like this. So we've got 6 of Swords reversed, the Hermit, 7 of Swords, and Page of Wands. So when I was talking about cards that have to do with kids, pages often have to do with younger people, and 6s have to do with the past. So the 6 of Cups is actually a card that's very much about childhood and children emotionally. When I see 6 of Wands, this is about intellect, can also be about memory. So when this is reversed, this is looking at past memories and how they affect the past and the baggage that we carry, and dropping those not dropping the memories as in forgetting, but learning how to cope with them so they're not weighing us down. You may end up having, I'm used to using the word client because I work with seniors. So when I say client, I'm referring to the kids that you work with. You may have a client or kids that are kind of reminding you about stuff from your own past that might be kind of tough to deal with. So you might want to look at some counseling, or to talk to a coworker or your boss, or even just to journal about how those things are affecting you. But I do think that you are going to be taking on a more of a counselor role, and more of like a confidant role, specifically when it comes to kids who have had issues with impulsivity and issues with the law. Now I say this because the Hermit is about like that guru at the top of the hill that you go to for advice. This is an advisor card. So yeah, like you being someone that people feel safe to. Now, I don't know if you work with like little kids, like toddlers, or if you're working with like teenagers. That makes a big difference in how this goes. I think that you might be looking at getting some more education and training so that you can expand your skills and expand your scope of practice. The 7 of Wands, or 7 of Swords, pardon me, often has to do with sneakiness. And this is, I'll show it up close. This is somebody stealing swords. And so it looks like, yeah, someone getting into trouble with theft and other kind of minor crimes. I don't think you're dealing with like huge things, or it could even be kids who are at risk of going down a bad path. Page of Wands. I often see this with kids who are very athletic and have a lot of energy. So I think that part of working with kids who are, I don't think any kids are born bad kids, but kids who are, at risk, or kids who are struggling, dealing with some sort of athletics program, or program where they're shaking their sillies out and being active and like spending energy in a good way, so they're not bored and causing trouble elsewhere. So yeah, there are good things happening for you, and really it's I do think there's going to be some further training, further certification, and this could actually be like some one-on-one stuff. So working with like a mentor or a professor or someone like that to get some to gain some extra skills and extra accreditation. So you do with little kids, okay? So yeah, you could be dealing with kids who are have some like behavioral issues, and so yeah, shaping them. Running them rapid, or I think that you may end up coming across a kid who's got some like trauma signs, like physical trauma signs, which could be really, really difficult to deal with. Signs that this kid is not being treated properly. So, and how do you deal with that when you have a kid who's in your care who you have to send them home, and there's stuff happening that it's not okay. So learning how to I know that in the U.S. there's the thing about mandated reporter, and I'm certain that you are. The way that it is in Canada is, or it varies province by province, but if any person suspects abuse or neglect, they are supposed to report it immediately. So like everybody's a mandated reporter. But yeah, I think that you may come across something like that. And in working with kids who are like special needs behaviorally, not necessarily intellectually, and it's kind of some of the root of that is some stuff that's happening at home. So just tough stuff, but important. So I think that yeah. If you have a kid in your care who is difficulty listening, difficulty controlling their own impulses and temper, getting them tired, as in like running them in a fun way, is going to really help you. And it's pretty easy to tire out kids when they're small, and getting them to play tag or race or whatever. But yeah, whatever you can do to tucker them out is going to help you with some of those behavioral issues in the classroom and in your work. But yeah, also be aware of some other signs, and you might have to have some conversations with kids to pick. Ooh, monster party. That sounds fun. Okay, is anyone else looking for a reading today? Yeah, I have ADHD. I believe that it is a real disorder. And I also know that kids mature at different ages. And like if there's a kid born in January and a kid born in December, but they're born in the same year, they're still like almost a year apart. And it can be difficult to like expect the kid born in December to act the way the kid born in January does. Especially if they're tall and you assume that they're older. It was kind of like my kid's an October baby. So, hey, Lolly. So yeah, like there's different expectations. My daughter was always tall, so people assumed that she was more mature and assumed that she was older. And so when she didn't behave as she was taught, there was kind of like this, oh, she must have this disorder. And really it was just like a maturity thing because they thought that they expected more from her. And with those kind of things, like, yeah, tucking kids out works often. There's parts of me that I would have loved to have homeschooled. I was a single mom and I was in school and working when my daughter was young. So, but at the same point, she in grade 1 to grade 6, had a really good group, and then she switched schools because she moved in with her dad. But yeah, she had a really good group of friends, and she still runs into them from time to time. So I'm glad she had that group. Excuse me. But yeah, I remember hearing about one mom who would take her kid to the playground like an hour before school, and they let the kid run around, and that made a profound difference on him behaving in class because he was, didn't have all this pent up energy from not being able to run it off. And ultimately, like it's kind of a team effort, right, between parents and teachers and ECE workers and pediatricians and whatever to do what's best for the kid. You are most welcome, Sherelle. So this actually didn't work too bad using my phone. I might do this again. Megan, have you noticed any? Thank you so much, Lolly. Happy New Year to you too. Have you noticed any buffering issues? Because that happened a lot on my laptop, and it may be that the laptop's just really slow and have no RAM. Because yeah, I might just do things on my phone from now on. Lolly, would you like a reading? Best readings are um, questions where you have a bit of control of the outcome, and readings that are a positive subject. So when it comes to readings in the chat and in public readings on the live stream, I tend to avoid questions that like about health or is my husband cheating on me, or questions that are really serious like that. Those are usually better for a private reading. But yeah, I'm excellent, Megan. I'm glad that worked. So I'll have to work on the shakiness because yeah, I've got my arms on the on the table. Love. Okay, perfect. Are you currently in a relationship? And if you had a relationship, what, if any, pronoun would you prefer for your partner? So that's like he, she, both, neither. No judgment. I just don't assume. Okay. Okay. So I like this for the present, and I'm actually going to read a little bit more into this because I don't think this is probably the answer that you want. And that's okay. My goal is to always be honest with you, but leave you better than how I found you. So we have the Nine of Wands reversed. We have the King of Cups reversed, the Queen of Pence, and Justice reversed. Looks like you have had a lot of chaos in your love life. We've got the King of Cups reversed, and I often see this as an older man who's acting younger, who is emotionally immature, who's emotionally unavailable, and yeah, someone who can manipulate a fair bit like that, and that's not someone who you would like in your life. So yeah, like I think that looking at the Queen of Pence, which is show you her, which is a favorite card of mine. This is about a woman who is practical, who is independent, who doesn't need a man, who yeah, can stand on her own 2 feet. But that's not to say that you wouldn't like a man. So I think that yeah, you've had some injustice, as in not being treated fairly, as in things not being balanced in past relationships, and yeah, taking a break from dating and getting to know you a little bit better and working on your own life, I think is a priority. But we're going to look a little bit further than that, because I think that's the advice that a lot of people give, of just stop looking, and that's not what you want to hear. So I think yeah, taking a bit of a break and is a good idea, and focusing on you. I never ever want to hear about you giving up on something in your life because of dating. And I think that if you focus on, yourself and making yourself more interesting and taking courses that are interesting, then that kind of, moves you up in the dating world. So, yeah. The best example I could probably give, and this actually came from Paula Tellison, who was on the Friday Night Magic show last year. She was talking about Friends, and I've never been a huge fan of Friends, but I'm aware of this clip of when Rachel didn't get on the plane. Oh, amazing, Cheryl. That'll be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. Yeah, Rachel didn't get on the plane. Never don't get on the plane because of a man. Like, if he loves you, he'll follow you and he'll want the best for you. So yeah, don't give up on stuff because to be available. But yeah, let's look at something a little bit A little bit deeper. So what happens after that break? I do think that there's some healing that needs to happen before you're ready for like, okay. All right. Okay, I like this. So I like this better than the last one. Queen of Cups. And so the spirit one, I usually read these in order, but this is the last one, is the Page of Cups. So when I have a queen and a page, these are usually like, when they're the same suit, they usually go together. So yes, I think that taking a bit of a break is going to be great. But I think that you're probably looking at a relationship like late summer, early fall. That kind of sounds like a timeline. I want you to find somebody who is not anything like your dad. And I'm not going to assume any like daddy issues or anything like that, but choose someone who's different than anyone you've dated, who's not like your dad. Because I think that when we date the same types of people over and over again, we sometimes fall into patterns and make poor judgments. So this person might be younger than you are, but they're really emotionally healthy and they're really emotionally mature. So yeah, don't be afraid to date someone a little bit younger. I mean, obviously you want to date an adult. I'm not suggesting anything. And I don't know how old you are, Lolly, but yeah, I think that, a few years either way when we become an adult isn't a huge deal. I'm in my 40s and I would be very comfortable dating someone in their 30s. So but because they're still adults in their 30s, so I'm not suggesting anything anything nefarious. But yeah, yeah, when you've dated the same kind of person over and over again, you're 58. So yeah, if you dated someone in their 40s, like they're still mature enough. But yeah, I think that, or even like late 30s would be kind of fun. So yeah. It could also be someone who looks very youthful. So there's a real youthfulness to them, but it's not like immature. It's like yeah, just they've got this exuberance. So I like that. I like that word too. Yeah, and I think that you're looking at that. Yeah, so like late summer, early fall. So yeah, I hope that helps. Yeah, and look at, I mean, everyone has a list who's single, right? And of things that they want in a partner. And I think there's things that you must have, and then there's things that would be nice to have, and then there's kind of like, wouldn't it be cool if, and then there's like, deal breakers. So look at your list and look at things that really do matter and things that really don't matter. And yeah, because I think that when you look at what you've really wanted over and over again, and that's when you kind of start dating the same type of guy over and over again. So yeah, open your mind and open your like your qualifications. So of course you want someone who's kind. Of course you want someone who's mature. Of course you want someone who can support themselves. Of course you want, like, these things that really matter. But then there's some things that really don't matter, and yeah, those are important to look at. I mean, like, if you found this amazing guy and he was 5'6", would that matter to you? And for some women it does, and I don't think that that's something that really matters. I think that you can yeah, I think you can be happy with all sorts of different people. Is anyone else interested in a reading today? I think that the latest that will go is 1 o'clock today. So usually I keep these an hour, even though I started late because of technical difficulties, blew a fuse. Okay, so I'm going to do a something I've never done before. I'm going to do like 4'11". Okay, yeah, I can see that. Like I'm 5'7", so I mean, it's kind of like I'm at this height. I'm like 5'9" in heels. So if I started making that a deal breaker, I think I'm counting out a lot of good men. Oh, yeah, that does not matter. Yeah, I think of my parents. My dad's 6'7" and my mom's like, yeah, 4'11" or 5 feet in her shoes. It's difficult to take photographs of them together because of the height difference, but yeah. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna do like a little kind of blessing reading. We'll see how that goes. And again, I'm gonna do situation, body, mind, spirit, because that's the way things are going today. I should come up with some new, all right. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna do like a card of the day thing, I think, or card of the week. Yeah, that makes sense. So when I'm done filming this, I'm going to start filming some Merlin's card of the day. I don't know if you saw the one that I did on Christmas Eve, but I'm hoping to have one of those out every morning of Merlin picking a card. It's really cute. I can have a card of the day to meditate on. Okay. Wheel of Fortune reversed, and sometimes this card can indicate bad luck, but one thing about this card is that it and I'm not saying you're going to have bad luck this week, but what I am saying is that sometimes things happen in life and it's not your fault, and there's a difference between fault and responsibility. So when things happen in your life that are not positive and are not your fault, don't take it personally. So and think about what's your fault and your responsibility. So, I mean, if somebody cuts you off in traffic, that's not your fault. But if you start road raging because of it, it is your responsibility to keep keep your temper together. If someone was unkind to you as a child, that's not your fault. But being a better parent to your own children is your responsibility. So that kind of thing. So it's essentially things that are not your fault. You can't use it as an excuse because it's your responsibility to work on that. But sometimes it's a symptom. You know what I mean? Okay. So that is your card for the week. I hope that you all have a wonderful day. Please do give this video a like. I would really appreciate that. And may you have a fantastic week, and may you pray with a good fire. Bye, pumpkins.